Well, we can't be expected to know everything that there is to be known sitting behind a desk in our office in Pittsfield, New Hampshire. So it's really important for us to connect with university-based science. And here, the research that happens is really applied science. So it's not just the research for research's sake. It's research that really connects the dots to practice. So working with IFSI and all of the researchers here really gives us that opportunity to not only learn what we need to nail down from a science standpoint, but also how that works in an application. So for example, we're looking at turnout gear, and this study is taking gear, exposing it to various exposures, and then swabbing the gear to find out what gets on the gear, swabbing people's skin, find out what gets on their skin, and then doing fluid analysis to find out what gets inside their system. So then they're doing field decon to learn and to swab before and after field decon so we can learn how effectively field decon is helping us to decontaminate the gear. So once we have a better picture as to what it is that we're trying to protect from, now we can look at alternatives in terms of how we design gear and perhaps how we finish materials on gear so that they'll be more easily deconned, and so we can provide less exposure, not encapsulating people, but providing ways to reduce exposure to the particles of combustion. So
looking at the previous research up to this point, is there any kind of nuggets that you've taken away or Globe has taken away to look at their gear a little bit differently between this 1-year gap?
Well, definitely, because the whole conversation about cancer is elevating itself in the fire service. We were in a world where the biggest problem was cardiac events, and just in the past few years, the conversation around cancer has really become a lot stronger. So now we're looking at, are there opportunities where one of the pieces of the puzzle can be turnout gear that can start to reduce that exposure. So just our thinking about that and trying to come up with some solutions is an important piece of that. We're working very closely with Boston right now to see what we can do with their current gear by redesigning some of the interfaces and closures to reduce smoke coming through the system. So those kinds of things are starting to gain traction, and there are departments that are serious about making a difference. So this study is going to give us the science to understand what we're really trying to protect from so that we can execute some of those potential strategies more effectively. So just in that past year, we've gone from, this is something we need to look at to potential solutions to the problem. So that's really helpful.
So Mark, you mentioned a couple of Boston being involved, and now tonight we talked to some folks from the Netherlands. Yeah. From Globe's perspective, what does that mean to you to know that this is now worldwide and firefighters around the world are starting to look at this and express the importance of it? From a manufacturer's perspective, what do you think of that?
Well, our job is really to, provide gear that helps people come home at the end of the day, right? So, it's not just the product we make. It's not, product out. It's really about the voice of the customer in. So when we hear new needs, levels of protection that were not previously thought to be what this product was, that's an opportunity for us. So, we're looking for ways that our gear can help make a difference and bring people home. So this is one more opportunity for us to really make a difference for firefighters. So we really are excited about the opportunity to do that. And I think that the cooperation that is starting to happen between departments and worldwide will really help to inform a better solution to it. The thing we have to avoid in any of the projects that we do is sort of jumping to the solution. We really need to understand the problem and get the science lined up properly so we can come up with a solution that really makes a difference and then validate the solution. So you can't do that without understanding the measurements on the front end to be able to do that. And you know, we're all in this world where we want immediate gratification and we want to solve the problem right away, but until we can really characterize the problem more effectively, it's premature to jump to the solution and go out and say we've got a solution to cancer, right, or particulate, you know, that kind of stuff.